Hey everyone, welcome back to Have a Beer with Eric. This is review number 62, and I know it's been a while since I made my last review, and my reviews have been kind of scarce recently, but I've just been really busy with a lot of stuff going on. I was feeling very sick last week, and then a couple of weeks ago as well. And then I actually had a business trip going on end of last week and beginning of this week, and that's actually what brings me to this beer because I was able to get it on my trip. I um, I went to Boston and I stayed there from Sunday to Wednesday this past week, and it turns out that the client that we flew out to help out for the machines that we sent out is really the the engineer that we talked to that's kind of in charge of the project from their side. I talked to him a lot over the trip, and turns out that he's actually a really big craft beer fan, just as myself. And on Tuesday, when I got there, he was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I brought you a beer. I'm kind of low on my beer stash, but I thought this would be nice to give you." And it totally caught me off guard, and it was super nice of him. Such a great guy. And then he took us out to Night Shift Brewing over in Boston, and he paid for our tabs. We had a few beers, just the whole team, engineering teams, and myself, and it was very fun. So this is the beer that he gave me. This from Treehouse. It's called 75. It is an American double IPA, and it actually doesn't say the percentage on here. I forgot to look it up, but what I did find, nope, it doesn't say. But at least it says the canning date. So this was canned um, on August 16th. So it's almost a month old. Today's the 12th. But um, so I did look up a little bit into the beer, and it turns out that this is a beer that's part of a series of rotating hops, and the 75 focuses on making a beer that's pineapple forward. So apparently the notes are supposed to be fresh pineapples as well as like pineapple cream and a good amount of citrus in there. So that's what we're going to be expecting out of this beer, and let's dive right in. Cool, there we go. It's a really nice looking head. It's about 2 fingers almost. It's maybe a finger and a half. Um, I can smell the citroness from here too. That's a lot of oranges right there, a bit of mango as well, and I I definitely say a good amount of pineapple as well. It smells really nice. It smells pretty good, and this is one I've actually never had my own treehouse beer. I think I've only had like 3 or 4 treehouse beers before, and they've all been at shares. So it's nice that I finally get my own treehouse beer. Um, I'm pretty excited because so far every treehouse beer that I've had, I've really enjoyed. And for those of you guys that don't know Treehouse, they're very well known for their hazy IPAs. So I'm excited to dive into this. So let's top it off. There we go. All right. It's nice to be back during reviews. Cheers, guys. Mm. It's very smooth, very nice, very citrusy. I don't get too much pineapple out of it. I get more like a like mango. I get a orange, just a little hint of grapefruit, kind of like a bit of melon. It actually also has a noticeable malt background. Like it's not too upfront, but it kind of sweetens out the very end of the taste of the beer. It prevents it from being harsh on the mouthfeel. I know that they were focusing on really making the beer kind of pillowy, creamy, cloudy, um, in the mouthfeel. So this is pretty nice. Mm, it's pretty tasty. I like this. Um, it definitely hasn't disappointed as a Treehouse beer, so that's good. Um, it's doing pretty well for being almost a month old. I don't know how the engineer stored it, but it looks like he must have kept it fridge in the fridge, so that's good. Um, so on my trip to Boston, I was able to do I had a good amount of free time, so I made some trips, and one of my goals was to make it to multiple breweries when I was over there. So the night that I arrived, I was able to walk over to Somerville Brewing Company. Um, it's like it's just kind of a mid-sized brewery where they also offer food. I got there around 10 and they closed at 11, so the kitchen was already closed. But I had six tasters there, and their hazy IPA was my favorite one out of my whole flight. Um, and then Monday, I toured around a good amount. So I went to, first I went to Sam Adams, which is really nice, going to the biggest craft brewery in the US. And then I took the bus and I walked around a lot in downtown, and then I took another, um, actually it wasn't the bus, it was the train. I took the train a lot, and then I took the train to near the water, and then I crossed over by foot to the Fort Point area, and then I was able to go to Trillium, and they had some pretty nice beers there. Um, a good amount of hazy IPAs and some good stouts as well. Unfortunately, the thing that I did not like about Trillium is the fact that they don't do any tasters. Any beer that you want to try, you have to do either a splash or a full pour, which is, for me, I think it's a little ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't be forcing your patrons to buy full pints, especially at a brewery where your aim is not to get people drunk. It's to actually enjoy beer. So I thought it was weird on their part that they don't do any tasters. And I don't think they did half pours either. I didn't try. So I had three beers there, and then I went back to the hotel. And then on Tuesday, like I said, the client, several of the employees over at the client company took us out to Night Shift Brewing, where I think I had five tasters there and a pint. And the pint that I had at the end ended up being my favorite beer. It was a hazy double IPA, very smooth, a lot of citrus, a lot of that one has it was actually a little bit bitter, but very citrusy, and a bit on the pineapple side as well, which is nice because this is supposed to be pineapple-y up front as well. But and we had a bunch of appetizers there as well, and since I checked my bag on the way back, I was able to bring back some cans. I brought a 4 pack of the Mosaic cutting towels from Trillium. I brought this can, and I brought a crowler from Sam Adams, which is a barrel aged stout. Lower ABV, it's like 9%, which is kind of low for a barrel aged stout, and but it was very cheap. It was like $12 for the crowler, so that was really nice. And yeah, it was really nice weather. I had a really good time. Definitely a lot of work. So I think it was a really cool experience. It's my first business trip ever, and I'm really glad that I got to enjoy myself on my time off and enjoy some pretty good beers over there. Mm. It's such a smooth beer, and as it's like warming up just a tad, It's it's gaining a kind of like a fruit salad kind of vibe, and like a little hint of like berries, maybe a little like blueberries, and just a tad, and it's really nice. And definitely picking up a little bit of more of the malty sweetness in there, but it's not overpowering, so it's nice. I think it complements the fruity flavor, so it's like fruity sweetie or fruity sweet. That was weird, sweetie. Um, but this is pretty nice. I like this. I'm very thankful for the employee over at the client company for giving me this beer just because we enjoyed talking about beer. And unfortunately, Treehouse was like an hour and a half away drive, so I wasn't able to make it there myself. But um, it was definitely a cool experience, a cool trip to Boston, and I would definitely recommend for anybody that's into beer to go there, check out the craft beer scene in that area. There's a very chill, very relaxed vibe there. So, but I don't think I have any upcoming events. Oh yeah, I do. I have the evening of the ultras for the Modern Times members. We're doing a flight of the MT Ultra beers, the Ultra Coconut, Ultra Vanilla, and Ultra Coffee, as well as the White Dragon Mask Vanilla. So I'm pretty excited, and that'll be pretty fun. But other than that, I think that's it. So I'll just wrap it up. I think I give this beer a 4.5. I really enjoy it. I think I would have liked to try it out fresh, maybe try to get some more pineapple out of the beer, but I still think it was a pretty nice beer. So I think a 4.5 is a solid rating for this beer. But yeah, I'll try to make more reviews. Maybe I'll try to take on a few in the same week, so and then just spread them out. Just whenever I have free time, I'll definitely try to record some reviews for you guys. But until then, just go ahead and follow me on Instagram on Have a Beer with Erik. I post there way more often than I do on here, obviously, and on Untapped, Vizcaya 49. But other than that, cheers, guys. Subscribe. Let me know if you've had this beer or any other Treehouse beers, and any other recommendations as well. But until then, cheers.